I'm going to get all of the ribbons that I used in the wreath. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start with the gnomes. There we go. Just going to dovetail the bottom, and I want my tail to be about, let's see, it's going to be about 10, yeah, let me do about 10 inches. 10 inch. Let's do 10 inch tails. There we go. Oh, seems like I have something loose here. See if I can find something. Usually I just use this. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna put that in there, and we're gonna spoil the bottom, and we're gonna make 6-inch loops. No, I'm gonna make 5 because my wreath's kind of smaller, so I'm gonna do 5 inches. No, I'm gonna make 6. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna make 6-inch loops. All right, there's 6. And then I'm going to do 6. And I'm going to twist. I'm going to do 6. Twist. And then 6. Actually, I'm going to make my tails about as long as this one, since I just ran out on this one. But I have a second one, so, but I just want to make sure that they match. So I'm going to dovetail this bottom. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut this one about right here, and then dovetail this one. All right, there we go. I mean, that's kind of a short bottom, but you know what we could do? We can definitely make one tail down here and then one up here. Okay, and then spread out our loops like this. So we have something like that. And then we're going to go to the next. I'm going to use pink. Doesn't matter which color you use, it's a preference. This one was 2 on each side. I'm going to do 1 loop on each side. I'm going to make this about that long. And I'm going to do 5 inches. Or you can actually make this one 6 too, because you will be able to see it. I'm going to do 6. Because this loop is going to go in between the other 2 on each side. So that's 2, and then this one goes right in between. So we're going to make them long, 6 inches. And this one's going to go right in the center, but I want my tails to go diagonal. And I'm going to put this one down here and this one up here. I'm going to show you why in a second. because I want my tails to go on either side. So I have 2 tails on this end and 2 tails on this end. I do want to just make this one just a tad bit smaller, a little bit long. Okay, perfect. And then my next one, I'm going to do 5 inches, and I'm going to use the green. And it's going to be 2 on each side. And my tail is going to go down this way. And I'm going to be 2 on each side, and it's going to be 5 inches. Twist. Twist. And the blue's going to have 1 on each side. And it's going to be 5 inches. Okay, so I have something like this. Looks like this here. There you go. And then I have the one on the outside, the one here, but I kind of want to end up with my gnomes. So if I do another one with 2, and then I can do this one with 1, that would be perfect. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I have this side and this side. Okay, so I'm going to use pink again, and then I'm going to finish with the gnomes. And then this one's going to be 4. It's going to be like right there. Okay. And then I want to make sure that they match and that they measure right. So I'm just going to pull them up in the center, and they're fine. Twist. Twist. And then this, the last one, you do not have to twist, remember. And then just move your loops around to where you want them to be. They don't have to be, they're not going to be fluffed out yet, but you want to move them around to where you want them to be, because we're going to fluff at the end, which is another therapeutic part. I just love this whole thing. It's just great. Okay, so not that. We're going to end with our gnomes. I'm going to cut the end, dovetail. And I'm going to do this one by hand, only because I'm going to show you that you can do it by hand. And if you have a print, sometimes it's better, but this print is all in the center. It's not like going every which way like some prints are. So it's okay to use it to do your bow in here, but I'm going to show you how to do it by hand too. All right, so you're going to just measure your, however big you want. That's about right. However big you want your tail. I'm going to hold it like this in between your thumb and your finger, like that, okay? Then you're going to just shove it in between, but I want to make sure that my my loops are 5 inches. So to do that, I'm going to measure from here to 10. Okay, and then I'm just going to shove it in there, and they're 5 inches. Okay. And I want this to have 1 loop on each side, so I'm just going to go this way with it, but I'm going to do another 10 inches measurement so that I can get a 5-inch loop. Okay, so there you go. I'm just going to shove that in there. So I have my 5-inch loops on each side. I'll turn this around. For some reason that got turned over. And turn this guy around. I'm going to cut it. I know it's longer than the other one, but I'd rather have it longer right now than too short. So I'm going to just put my bow in just the way I took it out of my hands. So these should be matching, but one's longer than the other. So I'm just going to move the center over. Let's see if that fixes it, and it does. I'm going to put 1 loop here and 1 loop here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're finished our bow, so I'm going to show you how we're going to take it out. Okay. So we're going to get another zip tie. Okay, and then we're going to put it underneath everything. So I'm just going to pull this side up very gently, slide this under. All of the ribbon, make sure they're all in. Pull it up the center and just pull it just a tad, just enough to get it out of your Easy Bow Maker. Okay. All right, so we have a pile of ribbon here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold it nice and tight. Move this zip tie over to the center. Keep holding it nice and tight, otherwise you're going to lose all that work you just did. Move it to the back. I like to put it in between my fingers here. It gives me a nice grip. And then I'm just going to gently move my loops and my tails over where I need them to be. And one loop goes in the center, and if you have two loops, they go on either side. Okay, looks great. Got that side going pretty good, and I'm just going to turn my bow around so I can show you how to move them around. So we're just going to move them on either side. This one's going to stay. These are going to be moved to the side. All right, and this is going to stay, and then these are moved to the side, and that one's going to stay. Perfect. This one doesn't look too long. All right, so I have everything where I want them to be, and I'm going to start to tighten the back. And I'm going to get a wire here. I'm just going to slide it underneath of the zip tie, because that's how we're going to attach it to a wreath. I'm just going to tighten it up here. Pull as tight as possible. I'm going to twist that and then cut. Actually, after we fluff, I'm going to cut, because it's just easier to use that as a handle sometimes. Actually, every time, not just sometimes. So I'm going to start fluffing from the bottom. So I'm going to get the loop, put my hand through it, and just wiggle, wiggle until it's fluffed out. There we go. And this is another part that I absolutely love because it's so relaxing. All right, and then you have your bow. There you go, and I'm going to take a picture of that too.